Hey, what's up, everyone? So I wanted to talk real quick about Jiu-Jitsu versus real world stuff. So yesterday, um, I went to put gas at a gas station. Um, and when I was walking into the gas station, I noticed there were some guys in front of me, and they were kind of walking around the store, just kind of kept looking towards my direction. Now, when that happens, my awareness starts to go off, right? If anyone knows me, they know the old type of career I used to have, and I have this mindset of just high level awareness, especially for my old career, right? So when that happens, all my training kicks in, and I start thinking about the situations that could happen. So from there, I'm watching hands, I'm watching anything bulky in their t-shirts, right? Because these gentlemen were just looking towards my way. And I do my thing and I go into a line and I'm waiting to pay. While these individuals were in front of me and they turned around and they were looking at me. And one of them kind of gave me the head nod, right? And then he did something with his fingers. I'm not sure what he did. And then I can notice anyone that knows street level gangs, you know that the signs to look out for. And these guys are obviously were gang members because of the certain tattoos that they had on their bodies. Not just any regular tattoos, but certain numbers on their bodies. So my awareness kicks off. My son's towards the pumping gas, and I'm trying not to let anything happen because I got my son. So there were some other individuals behind me who I kind of paid attention to, but not too much. I can hear them conversating amongst themselves. But there's other individuals in front of me were just really engaged on me. So maybe it was because of the tattoos I have. They were kind of scoping me out. But the cashier was taking a while to ring them up. So they end up ringing them up. And as they're walking out, I can see one of them turn to me and he kind of looks me up and down. And my so that even kicks me off even more. So they walk out. I pay for my stuff as I'm walking out. They're taking their drinks. They had bought some alcohol and they're taking shots out there and they're throwing stuff away. And I noticed that they were just kind of scoping out the whole area. So I walked to my car and my son's out there pumping gas and I could see them just turning their heads looking at me and my son and I. So I kind of didn't say anything to my son because I don't want to put my son through any type of high level stress like that or him to start to worry, right? I don't believe in putting my kids in that situation. Um, but all this training kicked in, so then I started thinking afterwards. Um, I had a conversation with my son, and I started thinking afterwards about how jujitsu could play out in real life and where jujitsu has gone. So the level of jiu-jitsu has gone to from being self-defense to sports, and I love the sports world. I love all this new stuff that's coming out, and I can't personally do all of it because I'm just getting older and my body doesn't move that way. But I started thinking about the self-defense part. I took a year of judo, so I started thinking about the judo. I've done the wrestling, the MMA. Everyone knows me. They know I've done all this crazy shit with fighting. In my old career, we also had a lot of training when it comes hands-on and some tactical level training where we were trained with firearms and things like that. Everyone, like I said, if you know me, you know my background. So I started thinking about the real world stuff and the situations. Right? I don't know how other people feel about this, but I always feel that jujitsu should go back to the basic self defense. Right? We should be teaching basic self defense in the schools, the basic takedowns, how to control arms, how to control hands, about the awareness part when you're getting into these situations, because there are people out there in this world who would love to hurt you, that don't care about going back to jail, that don't care about going to prison, that have nothing to lose, right? Some of these people are on these streets today and they do not care about hurting you. I I don't know if we all become comfortable in our own shells, just thinking that nothing's going to happen and that nothing's going to happen to any of us. But the reality is that anything can happen at any time. And are we ready for that situation? Are we tactically ready? Are we prepared to fight? Are we prepared to disarm somebody? Yeah, we can run. We can run. But if someone's charging at us or they have the intent to kill us, are we ready to take on that situation? Because when someone has that mental intent, they're going to harm you. When someone has that intentions to harm you, they will harm you. And it's all about how we're going to prepare ourselves mentally for that. Doing all these other things in jiu-jitsu, it's cool. But for me, I love the self-defense part of it. I try to keep up with my mixed martial arts. I try to keep up with hitting the bag. I try to teach my son everything that I've learned. I try to keep in contact with people from my old team that I used to work with professionally on the job out in the field, just to kind of keep up with the times. I talk to a lot of people in law enforcement just to kind of keep up with the times. There's just so much out there still that we could be learning from each other, right? We could bring back the old skills because there are situations that could happen, and it's up to us how we're going to handle these situations, right? For me, I don't like the drama. I don't like to cause problems. I'm not out there looking for a fight, but if a fight comes to me, I'm prepared to handle that fight in that time, right? Because it goes a whole different story when it's real world and you're off those mats. When you're off those mats and there's a lot of stuff and that person has the intention to harm you and they have a knife, they have a gun, what are you going to do about it? Yeah, you're supposed to run from a gunfight. You're supposed to run from a knife fight. But if that person has the intentions to really harm you and they're on top of you and they're trying to take your life, are you prepared to defend yourself? Is your school preparing you to defend yourself? Drop a comment below and let me know your thoughts. This is just my random thoughts. Like I said, thank God yesterday, nothing came out of it. Me and my son were able to leave that area, and I'll probably never go back to that area again because like I said, I'm not looking for that type of trouble. So everyone, have a great day and keep following, subscribe for content, like and follow. Oos.